Hey, hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Today we are taking a look at the Maschine MK3 and we are going to be looking at step mode. So step mode recording in step mode as opposed to recording in pad mode. We're going to record in step mode and we're also going to take a look at the grid. So if we hold shift and grid, we get our grid mode, which is our timing resolution as related to the pads. Now, if it's when you hit shift and grid, it goes off when you let go. Just hold shift, grid, keep hold of grid and hit grid up here and that will lock the grid view on. Okay. Now there are three types of grid mode in Maschine. One per perform. So you can choose if your scenes swap on the scenes or on a bar. We're not looking at that today. One for arrange. We're also not looking at that today. And one for step recording mode, which is what we are looking at. Now you'll see it set at 116, which means if we go to our events, it means that this pattern is now split. This 1 bar pattern, if I go to pattern here, you'll see I've got a 1 bar pattern. You can have as many patterns as you like, but we'll stick with 1 bar for the tutorial because it makes more sense to understand. Okay, so we go back to events and you'll see it goes across 1 bar. If we go to step mode, it means that this grid will light up in 16 parts. So if I press restart, you'll see it tracking along in 16ths. So that 1/16th means it split our 1 bar up into 16 equal parts, which is kind of a general thing. You'll find this in most sequences and doors and stuff. You'll just find different resolutions as well, and 16th is the most common and the one I most use logically. So, okay, so let's go to pad mode. Now, there are a couple of ways. We'll make sure our kick is selected, okay? There's our snare. We'll make sure kick is selected, and we'll go back to step mode. Now, anytime I enter a note here, right, it will be on this, it'll just be the kick. So if I just fill this whole thing up with kicks, it'll just play 16 kicks, which is not what we really want. So if we were to do this, we just have a kick on every 4th, and we're running at 80 BPM so you can actually see it, but you can obviously run it at any speed you like. So here's a key thing. Here's a good tip. When you're recording in step mode, make sure that fixed velocity is switched on. And it will have a fixed velocity of 100. Now you have between 0 and 127, so you can actually go and set the fixed velocity at the maximum. We'll leave it on 100. You can go in later and adjust the velocity for each individual hit. However, when you're recording in step mode, if I switch fixed velocity off, you watch the velocity now, right? Oh, 63. Oh, what's this? 100. They're all going to be different velocities, okay? So let's switch fixed velocity on, and just to keep it more consistent with the beat, all right? So, first thing, we're in 1/16th, okay? Come out of step mode. We'll go to our events, and there is another way to select a sound, by the way. You can either do it with pad mode and you will be able to hear it. Let's go back to our events. Or you can hit select and choose it and you won't hear it. Now, this is quite handy if you already know how these sounds sound, of course. So you can just select silently the next thing without coming out of step mode, for instance. So oh, right, I'm going to select the snare next. And there's no noise, and then you can just start adding things in. So let's do this. Let us add in 4 kick drums, okay? But we can do this on the fly. We can just hit restart. We're on fixed velocity. We know we're on 1/16th, so we can just go. Cool. Let's go to pad mode and choose this piano sound. Okay? So now that's selected, we can go back to our events, and anytime I go back to step mode, sorry, anytime I add in a pad now, it's going to be that piano sound. So I'm going to put 2 on the offbeat here. I'm now going to go to select and choose this one, which is another piano sound, and I'm going to put them on these 2 here. going to turn my master volume up a little bit. So select volume. Right now, let's go let's go select and choose our snare and put our snare on where it would normally be. So I'm going to stop that now and do something super cool. We're going to change the grid resolution. Now, the grid resolution, if we hit follow, this will be exactly the same. It's 1/16 will stay the same for what we've already recorded. So it's changing this is not going to change what's already recorded. It's only going to change what's going to record next. Now this time, let's choose, right, this 1/8T, 1/8 triplet, like this. There is another way to choose these. You can use this here and just go up and down. You can even turn it off and have no quantization at all. But we're going to choose 1/8 triplet, right? And I'm going to go to pad mode and choose this shaker. So that's the sound. We'll go back to our events, go to step mode, sorry. And when we press play now, you'll see this will have changed. It won't be traveling across all 16 pads. It will only go across the first 3 because it's a triplet. So watch this. And then we'll go back because it's a triplet feel. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put in that shaker across all the triplet. You can't, it won't let you put it in anywhere else, so you can't make a mistake. And now we're going to have this super cool triplet feel, but just on the shaker. Brilliant. Now, here's the thing. There's certain things to realize. We're in step mode. Let's now go back to our grid and let's change the resolution to, say, this one here, 1/32. Let us choose a sound. So we'll go to pad mode. This sound. We're on 1/32. We've still only got 1 bar, but watch what happens, right? Let's go to our step mode now. We know we've selected that sound. That's why there's nothing there, because whatever we put in our grid, of course, is that sound, as you can see. However, let us play this and you'll see it track along, but you'll see something. It'll move twice the speed now, and then it will disappear and then come back. So what you're seeing there is the first part of the 30 seconds and then the second part of the 30 seconds, but split over 1 bar. So it was 1/16 will run over the whole bar and then go back again. 1/32 is literally speeding it up twice. Okay, so if you put 1/32 hi-hats in, they'll be super fast. However, say we want to see our second half. Well, this time, all we need to do is press restart and hit follow, not shift and follow with grid, but just follow, and it'll follow it through. It'll follow it through. Hey, go on. See? Now. Wherever you stop the follow, if you just wanted to work on 1/2, it will just stay there. So for instance, say we just wanted to work on the second half of our pattern. So this half, stop. Now we're in our second half, see? Watch this now, we'll put some notes in. Brilliant. This is cool. I need to show you something else as well. So how you can, I mean, you can imagine now, right? That's 1/32 now. It's moving twice as fast and going over. If you choose, say, let's choose our grid mode. If you choose 1/64th, you'll actually have 4 pages at that speed. And then if you go into 128, well, that's just super fast. But we can just go with bar. If we choose bar, right, and we go back to our step mode here, you'll see that this will just be one lit once. It won't go anywhere. So let's select this, which is like a tambourine, and let's just put it here at the beginning of each bar. Cool, sounds great. Okay, so we need to let's go back to follow grid. Now let's just initially choose this 1/16th, but actually we'll choose something else, but I need to find a sound. This one. Yeah. Yeah, we'll use this. Okay. Now we're going to go to follow, and we're going to choose something like, we'll choose something really fast, something like 1/64th. So this one. Excuse me. Let's go back to our, well, we can go back to events. We know that we're selected on this, so we don't need to worry about selecting it. Let's go to step mode and watch what happens. This is going to move fast now, fast. If we follow, we've got 4 blocks of it. Let's work on the 3rd block, right? You can see it here. See, we're getting ratcheting. Same thing again there at the end of the 4th. Go back to normal, 1/16. So there you go. That's how you can do it. And I would suggest you mess around with the different resolutions and things like that to get different vibes, different feels. And you see that had a really nice swing feel, and we've applied no swing whatsoever. All we've done is add some triplets in on those hi-hats and then change the grid resolutions for various instruments we've put in. So anyway, guys, there you go. There is a look at step mode there, and also the grid mode. So I hope you found that useful and enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, consider becoming a patron. More Maschine Mark III tutorials coming soon. Yeah, so step recording and step mode. Top job, cool beans. And yeah, I will see you later. Ta-da.